Regional Development, Alamin Ousmane, who believes this will be a game changer in Cameroon's economy. Plus, with barely 2 weeks to go for school resumption for 2024-2025 academic year, some books remain unavailable as parents' guardians complain on the non-availability of such textbooks for their children and wards. And over to the United States of America, the Democratic National Congress kicks off yesterday in the U.S. city of Chicago with the different U.S. Democratic delegates all answering present. This National Democratic Convention will give the final blessing to the Harris-Wiles ticket on the Democratic ticket for the November 6th presidential elections. Those were major stories. Good evening to you all. This is High Prime of Tuesday, the 20th of August 2024, with me, Itening Larry Kevin Sabot. We begin this newscast with the story from the Littoral region, precisely in Douala, where an abandoned baby has been found in the neighborhood of Bonamusadi in the Douala 5 subdivision in a despicable manner. In that set light, another baby too was found, this time around in the Bonabo neighborhood of Douala, where both babies were rushed to a nearby clinic for medical attention as the mothers of the said children abandoned them. Many denizens in that part of Douala blame this abandonment of baby to wayward nursing mothers, as Aisha Ben has more.
It was a disheartening occurrence in the Bonamusadi neighborhood, as recently a little baby described as a miraculous blessing was found abandoned in a filthy environment precisely at Bonada. When she arrived at the scene, many were looking at the child but had no courage to go closer. She picked the baby, who was all naked, wrapped her, and together with another neighbor, they took her to the hospital. While heading to the hospital, they realized the baby's rate of breathing dropped. But once at the health clinic, the baby was given proper care. The baby was cleaned up, dressed up, and fed with artificial milk. For the nurse, she thought it better to name the child Marie-Ange. In their normal patrol of Sunday at 7 p.m., they discovered the baby was fine except for low blood pressure. In other areas of Douala 5 subdivision, Bonabo neighborhood, a baby was also abandoned by her mother in a health facility 5 days after delivery. According to the midwife, the 40-year-old woman came to the hospital alone, and after 5 days, she disappeared. The quarterhead, being informed, came to the hospital and hence advised all women to take responsibility for their actions. In the meantime, the two babies are in safe hands, even though their mothers are nowhere to be found.
Fascinating reporting there done by Aisha Mbeng. We now move on to the southwest region, this time around in Lisoka village of Fako division, where inhabitants in this largely agricultural population are complaining on the advent of the rains that is having a huge negative toll on their water catchment source for potable drinking water, as this area, according to the report that comes up, does not have pipe-borne water as such. Villagers had to travel for long distances in order to get the precious liquids, that is water, for drinking consumption. Journalism student on internship at Chingeng Laura has more.
Here in Lisoka, a small community in Boya, the locals, particularly known for subsistence farming, have over the years suffered from lack of potable water. They find difficulties in accessing water needed for household management, hence making the provision of water for the inhabitants of Lisoka a call for concern. It gets better during the rainy season because of the downpour of rain, But during the dry season, farmers in these areas have difficulties in growing their crops, such as vegetables. For many years now, they do not only have limited access to potable drinking water, but lack of water for other purposes such as growing their crops, bathing, laundry and drinking. The water they fetch from the rain during the rainy season is not healthy for drinking, as it poses health threats such as typhoid, cholera and other infections caused by dirty water.
I face difficulties during the dry season because the water gets dry off, and during the rainy season the water gets dirty. I'll use the water to cook, we use the water for laundry, I'll use the water to do farming.
Due to the lack of potable water, the inhabitants need to walk miles in order to get water from a small stream which is far from the vicinity where they live in. This water gotten from the stream, though not potable, is used for many purposes.
There's water crisis in my area where I live, and that's Lisoka. And the distance from my house to the stream is very far and cannot estimate the kilometer.
The process of getting water in this locality gets very tiring and time-consuming, as some of the inhabitants use trucks, tricycle and other means just to afford drinking water. In order to help better the condition of the inhabitants of Lisoka, the population is calling for the assistance of the installation of public taps in their communities in order to get potable water and equally decrease the numerous number of diseases recorded in the area due to lack of drinking water.
We now take you to one of our latest stories. As earlier mentioned, a special 10-day symposium organized by the Cameroonian government is unfolding in Yaoundé after the country decided to invest heavily in the key priority projects in the country for the next 3 fiscal years in Cameroon. The budget programming event is chaired by the Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Ousmane, who says this engagement is geared towards adequate revamping of the Cameroonian economy. More on that with the following story.
Stakeholders in the financial sector in Cameroon are fine-tuning ways for strong public investment budgets dedicated towards the economic growth and priorities for the nation in this 10-day working session in Yaoundé. This budget fine-tuning process will be helping the nation to get better in the next 3 years. The many priorities for the state budget under examination for a greater maturity process in Cameroon.
Discipline in the preparation and maturation of the new projects should be also certainly considered. Third, we should be able to also understand that the economic context is not a very easy one. Therefore, we should be prioritizing. We should be able to improve on the quality of our expenditure, and we should be able to also address the development expectations of our population.
For the preceding years, focus will be on the imperatives to align on priority policies and strategies, performance, achieve goals, and nation development strategies to this effect. The 10-day extended conference on the budget programming and performance is to assess on how to adjust our mid-term expenditure and framework aligned to the vision of 2035 highlighted by President Paul Biya. The outcome of this economic development discussion with the head of government and other implementing partners is one that has been appreciated by all.
And we now move on to back to school dossier on this newscast for today. Book businesses in the country across many towns and cities are experiencing a boom and shortage at the same time in certain textbooks that are being required from the Cameroonian government to the students and pupils. The unavailability of these books remains a Herculean task for most parents and guardians who are doing all it takes to make sure their children and wards get the adequate books that they need in order for a successful academic year 2024-2025. More on that with journalism student on internship, Laura Achenke.
With the back-to-school fever already around the corners, vendors of school bag experienced an increase in the sales of school bags. It is the case with Madorin, a vendor of school bags at the Great Support Market. According to her, there have been challenges due to the weather conditions and increase in the prices from wholesalers.
The rate is not really the way we expect. Yes, like because we have barely 2 weeks to school, but the business is not really going the way we expect. But we still hope that it will be better.
With this increase in the prices of bags from the wholesalers, retailers are forced to elevate the prices of bags for profit maximization. Hence, parents and guardians are put in a tight corner.
We have bags that range from 4,000. There are bags for 4,000. We have bags from 4,000 to 15,000.
Despite this increase in the prices of bags, the demand for primary and nursery bag sizes are higher than bigger bags, as the 2024-2025 academic school year is a stone throw away.
We are sorry for the mix-up. That was Giteng Mariana reporting on back-to-school situation this time around with the school bags and other school gadgets for pupils and students, as some markets persons are complaining of the slow pace of the buying of the set gadgets barely 2 weeks to school resumption. We remain with back to school this time around with another journalism student on internship, Jenkeng Laura, who will be reporting on the shortage of certain books prescribed by the Cameroonian government for pupils and students in the different primary and colleges all across the nation. Many parents say they now go to the extra mile in order to get the adequate textbooks that are not sufficient and not available in certain bookstores around the towns and cities of Cameroon. More on that with you, Jenkeng Laura.
It's that period of the year where parents and guardians go shopping in pre-preparation of a new academic year. The vendors of these school items experience shortages of books.
Now school reopening, so we get many challenges, like first, now the prices for books, the textbooks and even the stationaries, they don't over here this time around, past last year. So, and it's like, at the end of the day, books they go even short because books they know only come.
To some sellers of these books demanded by the buyers are not yet available at the market as the windows of this school year draw closer.
200 page is 1,500, 300 page is 2,000, 400 page is 2,500, 500 page is 3,000, then 80 leaves 300, 60 leaves 250, 40 leaves 200, and then 20 leaves 100.
Despite the unavailability of these textbooks in the market, exercise books are gaining weight as vendors experience an increase in the sales of these exercise books.
A ton of exercise book of 80 leaves, at least at the end of the day, if you sell that carton for 300, if you gain about 4,000, likewise the other leaves like 20 leaves, 40 leaves, 60 leaves.
However, with the one textbook system initiated by the Ministry of Basic Education, there is more pressure from buyers as the demand is high. Hence, it should be noted that the prices of these exercise books as compared to last year has been maintained.
To our viewers in Cameroon and around the world, this is High Prime and we are broadcasting live from our news studios here in High Television. We now move on to this other story. This time around we talk on the voluntary goodwill of many denizens in Buea who are opportune to have the services of water borehole in their houses. As such, they now extend a hand of fellowship to their neighboring community and neighbors in order for them to have good potable water so as to do their daily routine in their various homes. As such, Adeline Ayimfa Akumene, in the report that comes up, says this is a good initiative and something that others need to emulate from. More on that.
Potable water remains a top need to a majority of communities, a live wire of human existence. Yet, the shortage of this vitality has over the years caused untold sufferings to inhabitants of the Moliko neighborhood in the Buea subdivision of Cameroon.
Water has been one hell of a big challenge. We suffer a lot because we live very far to go and carry water. And sometimes we'll go there, maybe we wake up late, don't go there after they close the tap, and you'll not be able to use water till I don't know when. But now we are lucky to have this, which is not too far from the house, and it's really very big help to us.
The government's efforts to supply water has met with an ever-growing student population as demand overrides supply. In a bid to promote the values of patriotism and humanism, some individuals are taking up the challenge to distribute free water to their communities.
One thing I know for sure is that water is life. And they say some people will say he who brings color brings life, but I'll put it, he who gives water gives life. And I can say, for example, I've lived in Moliko for so long. I have suffered the fate of getting water for a very long time. Like the very few people who probably could provide potable water around, they were always selling.
An action greatly applauded by the now relieved population.
I've been facing a lot of challenges when it comes to water. At times, we will get up at 11 o'clock to go to the public tap to carry water, and you will go there, you will meet so many people, and the containers that are there are so many. At times you need to come back in the house and you need to go back there in the morning to carry water before going to work. As you can see, it is very stressful.
The constant supply of this free water solves not only household needs, it is equally a boost for economic operators around.
Water issues, it has really been tough since water stopped flowing, but thank God for our caretaker. He found a means of providing us water, and before then I've been spending like 10,000 francs every week just to fill my forage so it can permit me to wash. So you see, these are the medicinal free washers, and every week I use about 2,000 liters of water.
It is hoped that more and more individuals of goodwill will engage in community development projects like these and bring more life to many people, for water is life.
That was Adelina Yen for Akumene reporting there. We'll move on to the slow pace of certain seasonal businesses like the sales of umbrella. This time around, one of our journalism students on internship, Gita Mariana, visited the Munya market where traders and business persons over there in that part of the Southwest region say they now are faced with a slow purchase of umbrellas by potential buyers. This has gone a long way to slow their set businesses, umbrellas that are used for a season, but with the rainy season that is still raining in the Southwest region and most parts of the country, this form of business is having a slow pace. What accounts for this? More on that with you, Mariana Gite.
It's another school year as parents and guardians crowd the market to prepare their children back to school. With the rainy season at hand, parents are looking for a means to protect their children in this season. With umbrellas already at every corners of the markets and shops, vendors of these items say it is invisible to many parents and guardians as the sales are relatively low despite the persistent rainfall.
I said for now, it's slow. Though for the past month it has been moving, but we strongly believe that by next week, because the umbrellas also go with an shade, that is back to school. So by next week, we'll sell. We'll have the plate that we sell. Yeah. So how? Before we used to be few that we sell umbrellas, so now we have so many people who have engaged in umbrella selling. So now when they come, they don't sell the price that we sell. They sell lesser price to make profit and go. But for us that we have been there for long, we are facing challenges because the gain is not that very much.
Looking forward to increased sales of these umbrellas, vendors of this item put in extra effort in selling their products and hope that since most parents are yet to do shopping for their children, there will be a change in the demand of these items.
And that was Giteng Mariana, journalism student on internship, reporting there on the slow pace of business in the sale of umbrellas. We now move on to the United States of America. That is news beyond the shores of Cameroon, where delegates from the Democratic Party have converged in the U.S. city of Chicago since yesterday, Monday, the 19th of August 2024, for a 4-day national convention of the Democratic Party, known for short as the DNC. This started yesterday and will go right up to Monday as different delegates and key stakeholders in the Democratic Party of the United States have been talking on how to make sure that they win a landslide majority, landslide victory come the 6th of November 2024 in the U.S. general elections. That will be seeing Donald Trump and Kamala Harris will be locking horns on who to have the top job of the U.S. presidency after the current president, Joseph Biden, bows out of the race and endorses his immediate Vice President Kamala Harris. More on that with you, Aisha.
The Democratic National Convention has kickstarted on Monday, August 19, 2024, with delegates from across the country who have gathered in Chicago for the opening day. Kamala Harris, the party's historic presidential nominee, and her running mate Tim Walz will outline their vision for the country and how they are to defeat Donald Trump in November. Additionally, Harris is expected to make her first appearance after President Joe Biden delivers a primetime speech that highlights his administration's achievements and makes the case for Harris. In the meantime, the former president and his running mate, J.D. Vance, will hold events in battleground states throughout his week. With Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz leading their new ticket, Democrats now hope to thwart a White House comeback by Donald Trump amid panic over the prospect of a second term he plans to devote to retribution.
And thank you so much immensely, Aisha Mbeng, for that DNC reporting there on the Democratic National Convention. That is still in day 2 out of the 4 of the set DNC convention unfolding in the U.S. city of Chicago. With that foreign news item, this is where we conclude tonight's news package, High Prime, of Tuesday, the 20th of August, 2024. I have been Itengening Larry Tabot for presentation. Catch us tomorrow, same time, same television channel. Good night.